Let me paint the picture of how it ripped out. Welcome back to Sunday Stories, you guys. Today I'm talking about the time that I got my middle finger pierced and the time that it ripped out. While I tell this story, we are gonna make some tea together. So now's your chance. Go get yourself a tea. If you wanna have tea with me, go get yourself a coffee, a glass of wine, a beer. Kids, grab some OJ. Kids, you should probably not watch this video. And we are going to get into it. I got so many questions when I had my dermal piercing in. Honestly, so many people asked me about it. Like, they were mind blown when I had this piercing. Where do dermal piercings go? A dermal piercing can be placed anywhere on the body so long as the area of skin is flat. So like, obviously you couldn't get like your knuckle pierced or anything like that. It just has to be a flat surface. I have seen people get their collarbones done. Basically, you can have it anywhere. I've seen people do the hips. It makes me squirm. To this day, it still makes me squirm. I have my cute little Alice in Wonderland mug with me. Now, I'm not gonna pour this over my body just in case, but I hope you guys have a drink with you or a snack. There are different kinds of dermal piercings, okay? It can be done with a needle or with a skin dermal punch. How I can describe this to you guys, because I had the punch, it's like a cookie cutter. That is how it is best described. It's tiny. It's tiny. Basically, it punctures, and then when it pulls out the skin that it has punctured into, creating almost like a hole. Yeah, it's gross. So they have an anchor. It's a traditional dermal piercing. It starts with an anchor that is inserted underneath your skin. Mine was flat. It was basically just a big circle flat, not big. When I say it's like this big, but a circle flat. That was my anchor. The top on, like, once you have the anchor in, your piercer will top off the anchor with different types of jewelry, whatever you pick out. Like, you can have like a stud, you can have like a little diamond. I had a little diamond, as you've probably seen. And then there's divers, and they have a pointed end with a jewelry on top. So you can just do one thing, or you put the anchor with a thing sticking out, and then you put the little diamond on top. Because if you do a diver, you can't change it out. Whereas I could go and get the diamond changed out at any time that I wanted, if I wanted to switch up the color or whatever. But if you do a diver, it's in there. You cannot change out the top. So I did an anchor with a top. So many times people were like, does that go through your whole finger? And it's like, no. What? I did not pierce all the way through my finger. I also had my wrist dermal pierced. Maybe that can be another story. As you see, it is gone, but everyone thought that it was going all the way through my wrist. Come on. Let's make my tea. We are having today a green tea. I've been like fighting a little bit of a cold, so I am doing a super green tea. It has a lot of source of vitamin C, and it's a dietary antioxidant. Yeah, a lot of vitamin C. It's a super green tea. How it is done. This is a great time. I was mortified, okay? Let's get into how I even thought about doing this. My friend, Elena, one of my best friends, was like talking about dermal piercings and how she always wanted one. And she's like, let's go get them together. That'll be so fun. She got her wrist done and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want that. And I was like, I think it'd be sick and badass if I got my middle finger done. So then when I was flipping the bird, it would be bedazzled. That was my logic, okay? I don't even remember how old I was. I think I was like 21, maybe. I didn't think about the fact that this could get caught on anything and everything, because you use your hands every day. You are touching and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how it was done. I almost fainted, but he gave me a sucker, the piercer, for sugar to help me. It sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. For such a small little thing, it was not a fun time. This is what they do. They will puncture the skin with the needle and pull it back out. This creates a pocket for the anchor to sit in. Remember the cookie cookie cutter, it removes the skin, so there's a hole. That is your pocket. Then they insert the anchor. And when I say insert, let me tell you, it's not a little blip. This guy stuck in the anchor and was like turning it and digging it into your skin, because what happens is the skin, when it heals, grows and shuts around the anchor. And that way the anchor's in there and all you have is the little diamond on top sticking out. And then once the anchor is in the hole, you push the jewelry until it is under the surface of your skin. That was the worst part. Once the anchor is set, your piercer will screw the jewelry top on. Let me get my honey before I start getting into how it ripped out. You will actually see the anchor in this video because of how it ripped out. I got a big jar of honey. Please don't drip. Dun, 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 honey, get in my belly. This is actually when my piercing was all healed. As you will see, all you see is the diamond. You don't see anything else. You just see, and it is right up there against your skin, okay? Now, obviously, you have the fear of it getting infected, which mine did. You have the fear of it getting caught on something, which is incredibly painful, which mine did. But other than that, I love the look of it. I think they are so cool. I loved having it. I had it for about, I would say like a month tops, okay, before it ripped out. And then I have this really obnoxious picture of me mean mugging and shooting the finger with my piercing in. Tell me that doesn't look cool. Tell me it doesn't look cool. Like when you're 21 and you're like, I'm so, you know, like I was rolling up to university classes being like, yo, F school, you know? Anyways, I thought I was cool. I really wasn't. Like, definitely wasn't. But yeah, the worst part was that it would get, like washing my hands and stuff, you just get used to it being there. But the worst part was loofahs and stuff like that, and strings, and your hair getting like wrapped around. What I also didn't think about or thought about and didn't care enough because I was young and stupid was that I worked at Tim Hortons at the time, which is very much use of your hands. And I often worked on the bagel station, which is, you know, where you make all the sandwiches, the bagels, the food. I was that person. That was my demise. That is where it ripped out while I was working and making somebody's food. Oh, they're hammering now. Okay, keep going. I mean, I'm not trying to film. Let me paint the picture of how it ripped out. I'm on bagel station. I have my plastic gloves on because we had to wear gloves while making food. I'm making this woman's soup and sandwich, okay? I'm reaching into something, and in our little station, we had these containers that held spoons and stuff, but they were plastic and they had holes. I reach in and this thing goes off one of the holes. I feel the pain, but I keep going. I wanted to keep doing my thing and finish the sandwich, but it wasn't until I saw that the glove was filling up with blood that I had to obviously excuse myself to the back because that's disgusting. And I didn't want the customer to see that I was bleeding all over her sandwich making. I ran to the back, and when I took off my glove, this is what I saw. Trigger warning. I didn't know what was happening. I saw that it was obviously like swollen and red and just not looking right, okay? So once I started wiping, it basically like a piece of skin like wiped away, and then I saw this, which is, I can't even. You will see it's sideways now. So there's the diamond, and then you will see the circle anchor. So look how big that is. It's actually really, really tiny. And that is as much skin that was holding it in there, you can see. So I tried to pull it out because it was stuck, because there was a bunch of skin around it, like locking it in there, but I couldn't. So I had to call the piercer and ask him what to do, and he said this has happened before and that I have to go in and he has to cut it out. He has to cut it out. I was in pain. I was freaking out a little bit. So one of our regular customers, I love her, bless her soul. She was like, I'll take you there and then I'll bring you back, because she was chilling and having her little meal there. So she drove me. I went, he cut it out, like used these little tiny scissors that basically just cut the skin around it to release it. And then I left, and then I went back to Tim Hortons and I finished my shift. The healing process was quite literally nothing. It was just a little hole, and then the skin healed around it. You can see the scar still. You guys will not be able to see the scar. And that is my story of the time that I got my middle finger pierced and the time that it ripped out. Now, we can talk about my wrist piercing in another story time if you would like. Essentially just as bad. And can you believe that I got a wrist one after the experience I had with the finger one? This is how dumb I am. I just want you guys to know that. My decisions are stupid. Don't take advice from me ever. Anyways, you guys, let me know what story times you want to see. Give me ideas down below. What type of story times? I got a lot of stories in my life. I am now 30, okay? I've got a long list of dumb things that I've done. So I'm getting out of here, you guys. I will see you guys next Sunday for another story. And if you have tea or a drink, cheers.